Supreme Court person or other people out there that otherwise are very, very credible can get in trouble by joining that bandwagon and often their opinion without really knowing what they're talking about.
Right. So the point of all of this is that you need to be proactive. You need to be creating these communication channels before any misinformation gets out. So, how do you do that? Well, step one is creating content on a regular basis. Now, this is not just sales content, but it does include sales content. You need to be producing information that your customers and potential customers are interested in. Now, this doesn't mean you have to write, 12 articles a week. You can put up a couple of short social media posts, no more than 2 or 3 sentences. You can find articles that are being published in trade papers, in business magazines, in local papers that you think people will find of interest and repost them. But the idea is to post social media, blogs, emails on a regular basis. And the more you do it, the better. Now, you don't want to be posting so often that it's interfering with actually running your business. But the more information you post, the better off you are, especially when it comes to the search engines. And I've taught workshops on how to create content and content marketing. And one of the examples that I always give as to why you want to be creating content on a regular basis is the difference between myself and my father. I create content on a regular basis for my business, and I have for the past 12 years. As a result, when you go to Google and you Google either my name or the Modern Observer Group's name, you're going to have to dig pretty far down before you find content that I didn't have some hand in creating. So the message that's getting out there, I know for a fact it's all accurate and all things I want people to see because I've been creating content for so long. The flip side of this is my father. Now, my father passed away in 1981. So obviously he never did anything on the internet. There was no internet back then. But I found to great upset, quite frankly, if I were to put his name in Google, one of the first things that came up was his death certificate, complete with social security number, making it easy for somebody to steal his identity. So these are two extreme examples. One, I've been creating content constantly for, well over a decade. He never did anything online at all. But you can see the results. And when somebody Googles your name or your business, you want to make sure that what comes up is what you are trying to get people to see.
Yeah, and a lot of what you do too, which is very, very important for business, especially in doing what you're doing, is provide that value added, just like you're talking about. I mean, I see this all the time from you, obviously, is posting links to articles and this and that, whatever, just to really help people who are interested in those types of things learn more about it. And business is a lot more than just products and services. It's how you make your customer feel. And I know that you have a program to get these things out often to people so that they can pick and choose where they want to go. But you are definitely out there, and it's so important to make sure that you are in control, just like the Modern Observer Group is with everything that you're doing, so that's front and center for everything. So coming up with a plan to do this value added is really, really important. Possibly getting your clients and other, the public and maybe other people out there, strategic partners involved with doing what you're doing community wise and this and that. There's a whole lot of different ways to just generate reasons to post things. And the more of a positive spin you put on these things these days, the better off it's going to be, for your credibility, but for everybody out there in general, because people really are looking to see a lot more good news too.
Absolutely. And you said something that's very important about getting partners involved. An important part of creating content is actually receiving content. Subscribe to newsletters, subscribe to emails from businesses that you respect, follow people on social media who post interesting things, and then you're involved in being informed and you can spread that information. So, you don't have to be creating all of this. It's just as important to spread information that other people are putting out. And very often, it can be very beneficial to you as well. One of the things that we repost on a regular basis is an article from CNBC. One of their commentators wrote an article online about 5 things that you should be spending money on if you want to succeed. And one of those was a business coach. Well, we do business coaching. So we spread that, as far as we could, letting people see, yes, it's not just us that's saying, well, look, our products and services are important for you to succeed. We're spreading CNBC saying it. When you get more information in, you can put more information out. And one of the reasons we're talking about this today is because I get so much information in that this story about Amados hit my screen first thing in the morning when I logged in. So it's very important for you to be informed so that you can inform others.
Yeah, and obviously, if there's positive testimonials out there for the line of work that you are in, business coaching, and so on and so forth, I mean, that's instant. Testimonials are validating, and obviously, they're more powerful than you telling people that you're the best business coach in the world, because just by seeing what other people are saying, it's so important. I mean, that's networking 101. It's why most networking meetings end with testimonials about people, because part of networking meetings is doing a commercial and tell people what you do. But if somebody else stands up and says, Eric did a fantastic job helping me with this, and this with my business, that's a totally unsolicited validation for you that is 1,000 times more powerful than anything you could possibly say or post about your business.
Exactly. When other people repost your communications, it gives you instant credibility. And again, a very important thing to remember is that even when you're not posting information directly related to sales, when you're posting educational information about what you do, about general topics involved in what you do, this is building your credibility. As much as business owners would like to think they can sell anybody, customers tend to buy on their schedule, not the businesses. So it's important that you're out there communicating with potential clients long before they're ready to buy. This way, when they finally make that decision, they go, oh, you know what? I've seen so much great information from these folks. They really know what they're talking about. I'm going to contact them to use their product or services. So it all connects. Even when you're not directly selling, you're still building credibility in order to sell. So it benefits sales and marketing when you're putting out educational material or when you're just spreading good information out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when we talk about networking and we talk about business in general, I mean, as you said, people only buy things when they need or want it. So what it's up to the business to do is to be ready when those people need it or want it by being known as a credible, trusting person that will be able to provide these products and services to the client when they're looking for that. And the beauty of networking and all these relationships that you're talking about developing as far as communications go is that a lot of people know that you're the person to go to for that. And so that's out there. So, I mean, basically, what you're doing is you're just doing your business on the one thing, doing a great job of what you're doing, but you are actually getting people out there prepared to call on you when they need to call on you. And they don't know when that's going to happen, but they do know that you're out there.
Exactly. And to bring this full circle, when that misinformation comes about, if you've been proactive, if you've been creating content, if you've been communicating with clients and potential clients on a regular basis through newsletters, through in-person, one-on-one video calls, through networking events, however it is that you're reaching out to them, it's that much easier for you to go, no, that information was wrong. Here's what's really happening. Because you've got the channels in place, you've built the credibility. You don't want to be waiting until you absolutely need to create these channels to start working on them. They need to be in place before you need them. And that's true about your social media channels. It's true about email marketing. It's true about networking. You need to build your network before you actually need it. It's often said, the best time to be able to network is when you don't need it. It's the same thing, if you're looking for a job. Right now, we're in the middle of what they're calling the Great Resignation, as people are leaving their jobs and looking for new ones. Well, you don't want to have to start creating a network when you're looking for a job. You want to have that network in place when you're before that happens. This way, when you're ready, you go, hey, I'm looking for a new job. If you can keep your ears open. You want all of these things in place before you need to use them. All right. So we are just about at the end of our time. So, Chip, what do you think is the big takeaway for today?
Well, this is our first show for 2022. And the first thing that we talked about as far as having your communication strategy out there is to not be just reactive, but the word for the year and the New Year's resolution for all businesses, especially when it's coming to a communication strategy, is to be proactive. Put together your strategy as far as how you're going to communicate with your customers, how often, and also covering all the what ifs for when things are going out. And as you do a lot, basically use other people's wonderful materials out there. The more value that you provide, the better off you're going to be. But the takeaway for this year, and a great time to take this as a New Year's resolution, is be proactive.
Absolutely. I love that. Yes. 2022, we're coming, hopefully we're coming out of the pandemic. Things over the last couple of years have changed dramatically. This is the time. If you haven't already put a strategy in place, be proactive and put the channels in place that you need going forward. Grow your business, grow yourself, and start the process now. There's an old saying, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is right now. The same thing goes for the strategy. The best time to put it together was, whenever you started your business or whenever you started planning. If you haven't done it then, the second best time is to do it right now. You've been listening to the Success Showcase. You can catch us each week at the xvadio.com website, going to xvadio.com/podcasts. You can also find us on the Apple Podcasts app, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Amazon Music, Audible, and wherever you find podcasts. Remember, make this your best week ever and make next week even better. We'll see you then.